Alrighty, so I am building a SaaS application currently. I'm about 1 to 2 months into this process right now. And I think that's the key word, is that this is a process. It's a very long process with lots of moving parts. And so I wanted to make a video that kind of breaks down my entire process for building a SaaS application. I've broken it down into 11 different steps, and I think the first 10 are very important and are going to be integral to any SaaS application that you build. But I think the 11th part of this process is the most important one of them all. So definitely stick around to see each and every part of this process. And yeah, let's go break it down. First of all, if you do want to see the application that I am building, definitely take a look at the video that I'll link above and below. That'll go into detail to the exact application that I'm building, why I chose to build this one as my first SaaS application, and I'll have a lot more in-depth information on what this application is, because this video is really going to encompass the process that it takes to build any SaaS. So it's not just the SaaS that I'm building, but I think this is a good framework for how to tackle any SaaS application. And I think that as time goes on and I build more and more of these, I will refine this process even more. But I just wanted to show the exact process that I'm using for this application. So let's go right into step one. If you're thinking about building a SaaS application, I really do think that you should sit down with yourself and ask yourself this question of, hey, is this something that I should actually be doing? Because it is quite a long process. You have to stick it through to the end to see good results. And, I'm not at that point yet. And I think I've really enjoyed every single piece of this process so far, and that has solidified the fact that I want to keep doing this. But before you even start thinking of an idea or start trying to validate an idea, you should really just ask yourself, is this the right avenue for me to take? Should I be building a SaaS application? And I do have another video that kind of just talks about, what the 2024 landscape for this looks like, and might help answer some of those questions on, is this the right thing for me to be doing? But now we're on to step two. We've validated, yes, I want to build a SaaS application and maybe even have an idea, but that is step two. You have to come up with an idea to build. And I think I'm going to do an entire video just on this topic. But for me, my ideas have really come from a variety of different places. Some of them are just things in my day-to-day life that I've noticed could use a bit of an efficiency boost. So that is currently the SaaS that I'm working on right now. It's called Dinnerbee, and it's just an efficient way for couples to organize their meals throughout the week. And so I recently moved in with my girlfriend, and we were like, man, every day we're asking each other at 2 or 3 p.m., like, yo, what are we going to eat today? And so I just wanted to build something for us so that we're able to use that. And now I'm using this as kind of a foray into the SaaS journey. So that's obviously one really easy way to come up with ideas. It's just notice some things around you that maybe aren't as efficient as they could be. And is there a software tool that could help improve that process and just streamline it? I would say that for the most part, these ideas probably aren't going to be your most profitable ones. And I'm not expecting to make a ton of money with this, but I do want to use it as a stepping stone in my SaaS journey. So I think it's a great place to start off if you have no ideas at all. Alternatively, maybe you're looking into the B2B space and you want to try and solve some inefficiencies for business owners. And I think that's a great place to start as well. If you can't think of something necessarily in your own life, go and find some problems for business owners. And this can be in any niche, which is really exciting. And you have unlimited opportunities to find products that would make other people more money, and in turn will make you more money. There's tons of different places to find these ideas and find these business owners. Like I said, I think I'll do an entire video just on this topic. But in short, those are two areas that you can go and find ideas. One, in your own life, solve some inefficiencies. And two, can you find some inefficiencies for business owners and build software for them? Step three is to validate your idea. This can be as in-depth or not in-depth as you choose to be. But just be warned that if you don't do a ton of research on this up front, it could come back to bite you later. And I don't think I did a ton of research before I started building this. I think one of the things that made it okay for me to do that, and I'm not super worried about the lack of validation that I did before building my app, is because I wanted to build it for myself and for my girlfriend to use. I would say if nobody else uses this app and I never get any users, that's okay, because we have something that we're going to be able to use every day and it's going to be able to make our lives better. But if you're going into this and you're really trying to make a lot of money with your SaaS application, then it's going to make sense to do a lot of research up front to validate your idea. For this, you'll have to go find where your users are going to be. They're going to be on the internet somewhere. Maybe they're in Reddit communities. Maybe they're in Facebook groups. Maybe you can reach out to them on LinkedIn or from cold emailing them. But what you're going to have to do is make some kind of relationship with your potential users and get some type of MVP in front of them. Maybe it's not an actual fully functioning website. Maybe it's just a landing page. But you're going to have some pricing information on that page, and you're going to direct these users or potential users over to this page. If you can get enough buy-in from folks either actually purchasing your product before you build it, or the price that you have is reasonable enough for them to buy that product once it is launched, then I think that's enough validation for you to go ahead and start building. Again, this is really up to you though. Everybody has a different level of risk when it comes to building these SaaS applications. So like I said, I didn't do a ton of market research up front to find out, are there a million other applications that are doing the exact same thing? And honestly, there probably are. But I really just wanted to build something and get something out there and potentially get some users. So I think it was okay that I didn't do a ton of validation up front. All right, so these next few steps are going to be the actual meat and potatoes of your application. It's going to be all the steps that go into building and providing an application for your users, which to me is by far the most interesting and most fun part of this process. And I've really enjoyed getting to dig deep into each one of these. I'll take this time to say that if you are interested in the more nitty-gritty and all of the technological aspects that go into building a SaaS, definitely subscribe. That's what I'll be talking about for the most part on this channel. And I'm really excited to share all of those aspects of building a SaaS with y'all. But yeah, back to the steps in the process. Step 4 is going to be design. And this is UX, UI design. Essentially, this is, hey, I have this idea in my mind. How do I get this into a wireframe or a mock so that I can see what the UI will look like, so that I can have some kind of sense of what this application will look like? For the most part, folks tend to do this in an application called Figma, create wireframes and mocks for each of the screens that a user might land on. I did this myself for Dinnerbee, but this is also something that if you don't have any experience doing this, you can contract out. There's folks on Fiverr who you'd be able to hire to build out your designs, which is really helpful, especially if you don't have that design eye. I definitely don't think I have the best eye for design. I'm trying to get better at it, but it's kind of hard, honestly. And there's a lot that goes into it. Even though it doesn't seem super complicated, there's a lot of little things that just make an application look and feel a lot better. And I haven't fully grasped all of that. So I think in the future, I will try and hire out some designers for future SaaS products that I build. But for this one, I built it all myself. And just know that, you have the option to hire out if you can't do it yourself. Step 5 is also design, but slightly different now. This is the database or data store design. So now that we have our mocks, we kind of know exactly what pieces of data our application will need in order to support it. So essentially what I'll do is I'll look at my mocks and I'll say, hey, this feature requires this type of data. How would I model it? And I'll just kind of go through all of the mocks and designs that I have and do this for each of the different entities that I might need to build. From there, I tend to sketch out an entity diagram. I'm most comfortable just creating relational tables and modeling my data that way. So yeah, that's essentially what encompasses step 5, designing whatever kind of data store that you're going to need for your application. Step 6, I'm going to leave this very broad. This is just build your backend. I like to build my backends first because I think it's just a lot easier building the front end after I have all of the APIs built out already, because then I can actually hook into them on my front end. And for the most part, I don't have to do too much back and forth. If I do a good job of creating my mocks and then designing my database after that, everything kind of just falls into place, which is really nice. I know exactly what I'm going to need for my application, and then I can go build my backend and then go into step 7, which is build the front end. Obviously, there's probably going to be a hiccup every now and again. Maybe I forgot some feature or I forgot an API endpoint that I need, and I need to go back and build that so that my front end can actually do that operation. But for the most part, this is a pretty seamless process that has worked out really well for me. Alrighty, so on to step 8, almost there, is deploying and hosting your application. Some folks would like to do this even before you start building like your backend or your front end. They'd like to get it hosted, before anything is actually built out. The only reason that I don't is because hosting things costs money. And ideally, I'm moving as quick as possible, but there's blockers that come up every now and again. And I would rather not be hosting something for 2 to 3 months that I could just be working on locally. Obviously, there's going to be some pain points whenever I get around to deployment, and it might take a little bit of effort after everything is already built, which is kind of also a frustration. But for me, just saving a few bucks while I'm building this isn't really the worst thing. And this will obviously vary for whatever kind of application that you're building. But for me, I like to host things on AWS. So I'll have Docker containers for my backend service and my frontend service. And then I'll have my database hosted on RDS. Get all those pieces connected, throw in a few more AWS services that I need, and that'll essentially cover step 8. Step 9 is marketing. And I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of videos on marketing. I have tons of different ideas that I want to try out and share with y'all and see what's kind of working right now. But I think that this is something that you should be thinking about if you're not necessarily starting it throughout this process. If you're waiting until step 9 to actually start your marketing, you should be at least thinking about how you want to market your product from as early as step 2 or 3. At least ask yourself a question like, how would I market this? Even if I don't know exactly who my customers are or where they hang out, are there some ideas that are jumping out? Maybe I could make some social media videos, some TikTok videos, some YouTube videos to try and find them. Or maybe they hang out on Reddit or something like that. Just have these ideas in the back of your mind while you're building this, while you're validating your ideas. There are a million different ways to reach your target audience, so I wouldn't be worried about not being able to reach them or find them. It's more so just having some kind of strategy going into it, and not just like getting to step 9, you're like, oh yeah, then I have to market. And all of a sudden I'm just flailing around and I have no real strategy for this, because at the end of the day, this is kind of the most important thing. You can build the most amazing product in the world, but if you can't market it and you can't sell it, it's kind of useless. It's kind of just going to sit there. Nobody's going to use it. You're not going to make any money, and then you're going to be sad and give up. So definitely have this in the back of your mind at all times while you're building your SaaS. Step 10 is iterate. So this is at the point where you have built your application, you have marketed your application, you have acquired some users, and now your users are going to give you some feedback. And they're probably going to give you a lot of feedback if you ask for it in the right way, and you're going to have to iterate off of that feedback. Some of this will be constructive criticism and be like, hey, this doesn't work how I would expect it to work. Or maybe there are serious bugs in your application. You're going to go have to fix these. So maintenance is just going to be something that once you have a user base is going to be part of the norm, and you should get used to that. And you should be okay going into this process knowing that at some point you will have to maintain it. Ideally, you build it in the best way so you have as few bugs as possible, but you'll also get feature requests and users asking for new capabilities. So just be prepared for all those things once you launch and get users. So that's steps 1 through 10. I think those are just the baseline, most important pieces of this process. And like I said, there's a lot that goes into this. And steps 1 through 10 take a long time in and of themselves. But I do want to throw in one more piece of this process that I think is really the most important part, which is to repeat the process. If you remember me saying earlier, I really don't expect my first SaaS application to be a raving success. I know it won't. And that's totally fine, because I know that the experience that I'm gaining while I'm building this is really going to serve me well as I build my second, my third, my fourth application. And eventually, I think something's going to hit. As long as I am able to repeat these processes over and over again and continue to refine them, that's really the most important part. Being able to persevere in a landscape that is incredibly unforgiving. So yeah, that is the process that I am currently using to build Dinnerby. And like I said, if you want to see some more information on that application, I will link up to that video above so that you're able to watch that and get some more information about the application. I'm definitely curious if anybody else is building a SaaS application, if you have a similar process for attacking, building an application, or if you're using, a different process and a different set of strategies. Definitely curious to see what other folks are doing. Like I said, I want to continue to refine this process as time goes on, so more than happy to learn from others if you're doing something different. Thanks a ton for watching, though. Definitely subscribe to see more videos around my SaaS process and all the lessons that I'm learning as I'm building out my applications. I really appreciate you staying till the end of the video, and I hope you have a great day.